The dominance of the Nigerian music is coming to an end. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. Even Nigerians themselves are aware of this.
Afrobeats is dead.
Afrobeats will eventually die because
Afrobeats, as people call it. There's no substance to it.
From Wizkid, who has come out to denounce being an Afrobeats artist.
Are you worried for Nigerian music?
Yes.
I guess it's where...
If Afrobeat is not dead, then it's actually at the verge of dying.
Yeah, there we go. From the horse's mouth. And besides, this isn't rocket science. You should know that everything that has a beginning has an end. If you know a little bit about history, you would know that kingdoms rise, reign, and fall. If you're a football fan, you would know that a team rises, dominates the league for a while, and falls. Example is Juventus in Serie A at some point. Barcelona in La Liga also dominated during the Messi era. In England, it was Manchester United during the Ferguson era. Even Arsenal, with them chakra at some point, they were dominated. Today, it is Manchester City, whose reign is also coming to an end.
Formidable, now staring at the prospect of 4 defeats in a row.
And talking about music here, there has also been the rise and fall of genres as well. The dancehall genre is a typical example. I know all these references I'm using don't really explain anything. However, before I can explain for you to understand why I'm saying the dominance is coming to an end, we need to go back to the beginning and know how the industry gained its success in the first place. Pinpoint 4 elements that played key role in the rise of the Nigerian music. Then you will come to understand why I'm saying the dominance is coming to an end. First key element, the success coinciding with social media and streaming platform era. In July 1979, Sony had come up with an invention, the Walkman. As its name implies, a device that will give music lovers the luxury of listening to music on the go. This invention was to be a game changer in the music world. Fast forward 5 years, portable CD players made its way onto the scene, but didn't gain popularity until the late 90s. MP3 players got introduced around the same time and began taking over. And that was the beginning of the digital music age. Between 2006 and 2010, Nigerian music started gaining some significant global success. Artists like Two-Face, P-Square, D'banj, and others were putting the country on the map.
I like it.
Fortunately for them, this was also the era where social media and music streaming platforms were crawling into the scene. YouTube had just been launched and smartphones were gaining popularity. The first iPhone had been released. A new era of music listening had been born. This was a blessing to the Nigerian music industry. While other African countries like Ghana and Co were sleeping, Nigerians seized this moment to build their music industry towards this new direction. This will come down as one of the smartest decisions that played a crucial role in the success they are enjoying today. So after enjoying a bit of success, Nigerians decided to make global recognition their next target. They wanted to cement their position as one of the heavyweights in the music world. So they did something, and that's the second element. Establishing an identity. They knew that before they could go global, they needed a signature sound, a sound that will represent them. So they thought it wise to go into their closet and pick one of their dusty genres, rebrand it, and make it their identity. This newly refreshed genre was a blend of Ghana's high life, reggae, R&B, and the old Afrobeats. And that's how Afrobeats with an S was born. This was a success, and Nigeria was gradually becoming a global giant. Third element, introducing new faces every 1 to 2 years. You see, becoming a giant in the music world isn't an easy task, and Nigerians knew this. If you have been following the Nigerian music very well, you would realize that new faces get introduced every 1 to 2 years. You know why?
Do you understand the formula?
Hold on, I will explain.
Do you understand the formula? Do you understand the formula?
This started in 2014 when Don Jazzy introduced Tiwa Savage, Ricardo Banks, Corredo Bello, and others. The likes of Techno, Adekunle Gold, and Faust had their breakthrough in 2016 and 2017 as well. In 2018 and 2019, we saw the rise of Rema, Omale, Fireboy, and the rest. So Nigerians adapted the strategy of introducing new faces every now and then to help refresh and maintain the success they are enjoying. Terms, Ayastar, and others were also introduced at some point. However, there was a glaring issue. You see, the more you overuse something, the more people get tired of it. All these new artists were constantly overusing and abusing the Afrobeat sound. So listeners were getting tired of it. So somewhere around COVID, they came up with an idea that would help rekindle listeners' love for the genre again. Looting of genres from other countries. Nigerians began looting key sounds from other genres. Like vampires, they were feeding on other sounds, fusing them into the Afrobeat sound to give it a fresher appeal. They stole from Ghana, Eastern Africa, and South Africa. A typical example was what they did to amapiano. This was a success. Asake is one of many artists who really benefited from it. Nigerian music was now reaching its peak of success. But if you remember very well, I said something at the start. I said that everything that has a beginning has an end. And that's true. Nigerian artists haven't been able to produce a major hit song in the past year. Asake is a typical example. And you just look at how Wizkid is also struggling. New talents are unable to rise up to the occasion as well. All because of the fact that Afrobeat has been severely exploited and abused to the highest degree. And fans are tired of it. This is a signal that the dominance of the Nigerian music is coming to an end. Afrobeat has given us some beautiful moments. And if someone had told me 15 years ago that Nigerian music would achieve this level of global success, I wouldn't have believed it. It's just unfortunate that the dominance is naturally coming to an end. However, I want you to take note of this. There is a difference between reign and dominance. Dominance just means influence, whilst reign means to rule or to have authority. So although the dominance of the Nigerian music is coming to an end, the reign would remain for a very long while, just because of the fact that Nigerians have been able to cement their identity in the African music space, and also because of their population. So until the different African countries step up their game, the reign of the Nigerian music is not ending anytime soon. And if every good thing that has a beginning has an end, so does this video.
You for dead Ghana.